With the greatest director of all time and Matt Damon taking on Homer in the Odyssey later this week, I'm here to rank my favorite director's movies from worst to best. And actually, I don't even think there is a worst on this. So let's get to it. Hi, my name is Matt, and this is Unpopular Reviews, where I give my opinions, which are fairly unpopular to say the least, on your favorite movies. And at number 12, we have the following. And it's actually an honorable mention because it's the only movie of Christopher Nolan that I haven't seen. So I've heard good things about it. I heard he kind of does what the first Terrifier movie for you horror fans did. It shows us what he can do. He just doesn't have the budget in that first movie to pull it off. But out of it, he got Memento, and it was off from there. So in last place, because I haven't seen it, the following honorable mention. In 11th place, we have Insomnia. Al Pacino and Robin Williams team up with Christopher Nolan. And the only reason why I put this in the last place of the movies that I have seen is this is the least Nolan-esque film out of his catalog. He shows that he can direct, actors that of high caliber that helped studios, give him the money he needed and the talent and casts he wanted for every movie since then. But this doesn't play like a big blockbuster or even like a mystery prestige thriller movie. And like I said, I just don't get that Nolan feel that has made him my favorite director of all time. So it's a fine movie. It's just one that I rewatched the least. Next up, and maybe an unpopular take, but we have Memento bringing us into our top 10. And it's not a bad movie. I love the movie. It's a great movie. It's just, again, kind of like Insomnia. It's one that I rewatched the least. And I found that over time, the impact of it has lessened on me because after you know the twist, kind of like The Sixth Sense, it just doesn't hit the same when rewatching it, where movies a lot higher on this list, regardless of the twist and how many times I watch it, knowing what is coming, those hit me a lot harder and a lot differently. But Guy Pearce is amazing. He's gone on to do great movies and some directing of his own. And again, this was what got Nolan off and running. And I think you can see influences of, almost every movie, but especially Batman Begins and The Prestige in this film. And you can definitely start to see that this man has creativity beyond belief, is how I'd argue it. So again, perfectly good film. I enjoy it. It's just since I rewatch it the least, I put it in 10th place. And looking at my list, I'm actually going to do a last minute change on the fly for y'all. So in 9th place, I'm going to put Dunkirk. Great cast. Obviously, he has a lot of Batman characters in this movie, actors in this movie. Cillian Murphy, who obviously also went on to play Oppenheimer. Tom Hardy. We have Kenneth Branagh in here, who later shows up in Tenet. And I love his real-world take on this true story, this true war epic. And He did not use a lot of CGI. In fact, what he mostly used his CGI for was for taking things out, like the water windmills in the background that you'll later see in Tenet. Because I believe this was filmed in Norway for part of it. They had all of those windmills in the background, so they had to use CGI to edit all of those out. But I love how this movie takes you back in time. It makes you feel like you're on the beach of Dunkirk. Um, and I love, again, you see influences from Memento here, where time moves around, and as one story is finishing, another story is starting, or you're in the middle of another story. So you're following these journeys, right? And there are times where you almost feel like you're watching a movie backwards before you catch on to how the story is in progress. And then you have the overarching story that encompasses all these individual stories and how it impacts each man differently. And I don't rewatch this movie a lot. I've noticed I watch, even though I love World War II movies, I've noticed I rewatch them less and less, or I seek them out less and less, kind of in the past 5 to 7 years of my life, which just is a personal preference. But this is one that I probably rewatch the most. I love Saving Private Ryan, for example, to depart from Christopher Nolan. And I obviously that I can't compare any war movie to that. But that has such an emotional, hard-hitting impact that it's almost like a stress test for my emotions. So even though it's one of my favorite, or is my favorite war movie of all time, I can only watch that movie probably once every 5 years, just because of how emotionally involved and just the human impact it has on me, the toll it takes on me. And so bringing it back to Dunkirk, even though I get invested in characters, it doesn't have that rip your heart out ending. So I find that I can rewatch Dunkirk a lot easier. But because I'm not as emotionally invested in it, that's why I'm putting it this far down on the list. Again, great war movie. Love it. I truly don't have any criticism of it. It's just Christopher Nolan is my favorite director, and I have to put these in order somehow.